2022 has been a fruitful year for Severn. It's been a lot of fun as we've had a full year of being able to meet unhindered post-COVID. Prior to COVID in 2020, we clearly sensed God speak to us that he was going to dismantle Severn in order to rebuild us. And then COVID hit. And so we've loved seeing how God is re-establishing and rebuilding Severn. Some things have stopped. Some things look a little different, and some things are just beginning.
We have loved getting to know the new leaders of Field Vineyard in Bristol, Caleb and Jess Pedersen, and building a relationship with them and bringing the congregations together in May and December. We've also been thrilled to collaborate with Field Vineyard in running the BS4 Food Bank. And now as we start 2023, we are especially thrilled that one of the first acts of Field and Severn working together and collaborating here in Bristol is that we get to plant a baby new church, Lighthouse Vineyard in Totterdown. So we're super thrilled about that, and we're going to be celebrating that in a few weeks' time.
2022 has been a year to regroup and create more opportunities to hang out together again. As well as our community groups and our triplets, we've held summer picnics, we've been camping in North Devon, we've celebrated our 13th birthday, we've had Sunday lunches and bouncy castles and all-ins with all the families and kids together and brunches. We've had 2 baptisms, 2 dedications and 4 weddings. Through our community groups and our caring pastoral support team, Severn continues to be a community where people are supported, cared for and prayed for.
I just want to tell you about a particular evening in November when all of the community group leaders gathered here in our home. We were just catching up and people were sharing what they've been up to in their groups recently. And as they did this beautiful picture started to emerge of what is going on across the city in homes and in different venues on any given week. So one group were gathering just to share a meal together. Another were watching The Chosen, and that group included people who wouldn't normally come to church on a Sunday. One group was sharing their life stories with each other and forming those new friendships as they got to know one another. There were triplets that were meeting and following a kind of structured conversation to support each other. The parents and tots group were busy folding clothes and serving at the storehouse. And there was another group that was gathering around creative prayer stations. This picture of variety really cheered my heart. I think it reflects some of the diversity that we have as people, and that there's room for everyone in these different ways of gathering and sharing life together.
At Severn Youth, we long that every young person across the city of Bristol would have the chance to encounter Jesus for themselves and respond to his invitation to follow him. This year, our youth have been meeting midweek and on Sunday mornings in discipleship groups. They've been meeting with mentors and every single month for socials. But the highlight for us has got to be this year going to our trips away to DTI Festival in the summer and Tag Conference in November. There were just so many moments where the young people heard from Jesus and encountered him for themselves in the worship and ministry times. One young person said, "DTI has changed my life. Not only did it bring me to find some of my best friends, but also helped me to put God first and showed me how I could live without limits with God by my side."
Vineyard Kids 2022 has been a lot of fun. We have enjoyed seeing the children grow in their faith in Jesus. We have enjoyed worshipping together, all the children together, led by the youth, which has been absolutely fantastic. We have prayed together, prayed for one another, and encouraged each other, reading the Bible and finding out about what Jesus has in store for us. At the end of October, we had a brilliant light party where we saw 33 children come and hear the good news that Jesus loves them. And we have finished 2022 this year with a brilliant Vineyard Kids Christmas party and an all-age Christmas service where we learnt that Jesus loves us and we are indeed precious gifts to him.
At Severn, we're passionate about 50,000 students who live and study in the city of Bristol, many from around the world and many as well who have never heard the gospel for themselves. We know the majority don't attend normal forms of church, and yet they're so spiritually open. So we were excited last term to launch Vineyard at Soho across the road there on Sunday nights, and we've been blown away by the amount of conversations we've had about faith, the amount of connections we've made, and the amount of people we've managed to pray for. My personal highlight was when Caleb and I just managed to pray with this group of students and share some words of knowledge, and how blown away they were by the stuff that God spoke into their lives.
We're grateful for all the friends that Severn has in different countries around the world, some of whom join us online or connect with us in different ways. But we have 3 specific overseas partnerships that we prioritise. And they are with Kaingam and Ritu, who lead Chandigarh Vineyard in India, with Ian and Sheila Crofton Briggs, who run Casa de Esperanza, a home for young men in Mexico, and David Jennings, who's been working with the St. Stephen's Society, founded by Jackie Pullinger in Hong Kong. We are thankful for these people and partnerships that inspire us and connect us with what God is doing around the world.
We've had 2 new babies born in 2022, and it was a privilege to be able to support those mums and dads with Meals on Wheels. And we have 2 new babies brewing as we speak, due in 2023, and we look forward to welcoming them into our Severn Vineyard family and also supporting those 2 couples with Meals on Wheels as well. We have had lots of fun in Severn Tots and Toddlers group, which meets on a Tuesday morning. The ladies have supported one another with prayer, and we've had lots of fun playing in parks all around the city, in people's homes, and just being community together, which is wonderful. We also support Storehouse once a month by folding and often refolding clothes for that.
We've been intentionally pursuing deeper encounters with God. Our box set for the summer was entitled Encounters with God and was a deep dive into the experiences of Old Testament people who encountered God. Since September, we've added a more contemplative element to our Sunday gatherings, incorporating a variety of meditations and reflective practices to empower each of us to encounter God personally, as well as when we gather together. We've continued to offer Emmanuel Prayer. This is a coach-led prayer approach that enables the recipient to hear God speaking to themselves directly for themselves. And we've seen God move powerfully and bring healing to many people's lives. We've run 2 events training Emmanuel Prayer coaches. The last included people from 7 different churches from Bristol and around the UK. We held a training day led by 2 spiritual directors, teaching us about stages of faith, enabling us to grow in our understanding of how we mature in our faith journeys, and helping Severn to be a safe place for people to explore, ask questions, and be real about the spiritual journey they're on. We've signed each of our staff up to 6 months of monthly spiritual direction, so that this priority of spiritual formation is right at the heart of who we are and overflows throughout the whole of Severn.
Worship and intimacy with God are priorities for us as a church, and we have continued to press into them this year. We have 20 people who are involved in our worship team. They are passionate worshippers and have led us with vulnerability and sensitivity. We have held several worship nights that have been significant times set apart to connect with and glorify God. These have inspired us to invest in more in this coming year.
Some of our team went away to the Vineyard Worship Retreat earlier in the year. This was a really great time of connection with each other and with the wider Vineyard family. We came away feeling refreshed and inspired to lead our church. We've had some really powerful moments of connection with God over this last year. And this year we're really wanting to allow more time and space for this. So we're hoping to have monthly worship nights, and we're believing these can inspire a deeper connection with the Father and spill over hope and joy into all that we do as a church.
In 2022, it was great to get back to meeting together, but we also used our experiences of sharing online to help provide access for more people to more content to boost spiritual and emotional health. That's included all of our services and talks, but also our podcasts where we've chatted and we've explored stories in greater depth, meditations and original music to help people engage with God and worship, our online advent calendar which shared the gospel and Christmas stories with thousands of people on social media, and our audiobook version of Mark's Gospel which we put out for Lent, and it's still reaching people today. We've also gathered all of our Bible resources in one convenient place, so whenever there's something that you're interested in, you'll find talks and podcasts and lots of helpful conversation starters. Now, I've enjoyed seeing how far some of this has reached, but what's really made it worthwhile was seeing how it's helped people we know get to ask big questions from God and grow in relationships where we process our thoughts and our faith and our lives together. Thank you very much for sharing and getting involved, and we're looking forward to lots more in 2023.
Hi, I want to tell you a story about a very ordinary day at the food bank. There's very ordinary food packed into very ordinary boxes. There's tea, there's coffee, there's cake. There's a team of fabulous volunteers sitting around waiting to see people. Everything is very ordinary. And yet what seems to happen is always strikes me as very extraordinary. Clients come in and they are nervous. They're overwhelmed by the situation they found themselves in. They're not sure how they're going to manage to put food on the table for their families and pay the bills. And there's something about the food bank. There's something about coming in and sitting down with this team of volunteers who are just kind. They listen. They see the clients. They are willing to help signpost them to support that maybe they didn't know was there. We have a wonderful support worker that works with us at the food bank as well. But even those people who don't need anything extra in terms of practical support at that moment, there is something extraordinary that happens at St Barnabas on a Wednesday lunchtime between 12:30 and 2. And I think what it is as those clients are seen, as they're heard, that some hope is restored. And so although many of our Wednesdays may feel very ordinary, there are always moments of extraordinary change, just in a person being able to imagine a possibility for a future where things can be different and that they can break free from the cycle that they find themselves in now.
It's been an amazing year and we've seen 25 new clients. We've seen £30,000 worth of debt relieved from just 3 of those, and we know that that figure is going to double or triple in this next year, which is just an amazing relief of burden and worry and anxiety. And most brilliantly of all, we've had 2 baptisms, one into our little church, the Lighthouse, and one into a wonderful church here in South Bristol doing amazing stuff in their community. And it was just the best privilege to be able to pray with both of those women after their baptisms. So I'm so excited to see what God's going to do with us next year.
Severn has 2 teams that volunteer for the Bristol Soup Run. Our teams go out one Saturday and one Sunday evening a month. We hand out sandwiches, fruit and snacks, as well as serving hot drinks and soup to those in need. Over the winter months, we've been handing out hot meals on Saturday nights, kindly cooked for us by Help Bristol Homeless.
In 2022, our teams from Severn have given out just over 800 meals. We've also given out sleeping bags, warm clothing, toiletries, and given support to those in need.
Wow, what a year. So Storehouse has moved to Totterdown Methodist Church, and I think we did it about September. But we continue to have a really busy year, having about 136 families visiting us throughout the year. We're normally referred by agencies within Bristol, which has been great because I've been able to get a good relationship with a lot of the social workers or the support workers. We provide the families with clothes, toys and babies equipment like buggies and things like that. They always come into a safe environment where we offer them a cup of tea, an opportunity to share their story, chocolate biscuit if they're lucky, but also just a really a lovely environment where they can feel safe. A lot of the families I've found this year have suffered from domestic abuse or are suffering from domestic abuse, but the cost of living has really hit these families where spare money for clothes and things like that just haven't been there. I would love to be able to open up more appointments and also have support groups going on, but I would also need volunteers. So if you're interested in that, please come and see me.
It's been another great year for Severn Vineyard, partnering with Home for Good to find homes for vulnerable children. In Bristol, we have 750 children in the care system and only 353 fostering households. So we're trying to recruit foster carers and support the foster carers and adopters that we already have. We've been meeting people individually, one-to-one, to encourage them and listen to them and support them. We've been gathering people together in groups where the children can play and have a wonderful time while the adults get to chat and share how life is for them. Home for Good have some brilliant resources, a new course called Make Room, encouraging churches to look at how they can meet the need for bringing a home for these children. It's been a brilliant year. Thank you for your support.
At Bridges for Communities, we are so grateful for the partnership and support we receive from Severn Vineyard, which helps us make Bristol a more welcoming and inclusive city for everyone. This year, Severn has provided volunteers and £2,400 of financial support to help welcome refugees who arrive in Bristol from countries all over the world, and help us continue programmes like Peace Feasts and School Linking that help connect people from different cultures and faiths. Thank you, Severn Vineyard.
I'm just sending you this video from where we do our Ukrainian Refugee Welcome Hub. Every Friday morning we've been serving tea and coffee with a warm welcome. We've been having English lessons. We've had some amazing day trips to Wales and some fun science shows over the summer in Ukrainian as well as English. And it's just been a real place of laughter and friendship and connection. I'm really excited to see what might happen with this next year as we grow and welcome people from other nationalities as well.
During 2022, our search for premises for Severn led us to this building here, Totterdown Methodist Church. In September 22, we took out a licence to use the building for 12 months and evaluate it for whether it was suitable for the transfer of Severn Sunday service here. We decided that wasn't the case, but we moved out of the powerhouse, moved our food bank, our storehouse and our cap centre and our offices into here just for the 1 year. And in the process, we are now agreed that this building is going to be the home of the new Lighthouse Vineyard plant here in Totterdown, and the search for premises for Severn will continue this year. Every week, throughout 2022, we managed to meet together in person on a Sunday. After the pandemic of the previous 2 years, we do not take that for granted, but it simply wouldn't be possible to do Sunday services without the volunteers who week in, week out make them happen. I'm thinking of the refreshments team who serve coffee and tea, the set up and set down team, the production team, the sound team, as well as our amazing host team who make us all feel so welcome. So thank you so much for everyone who put so many hours of service into serving to make Sunday services happen. Our trustees, our business manager Liz Nixon and bookkeeper Leslie Davis have supported the entire staff team in ensuring that the church is well run and complies with charity and company legislation. During the 21-22 financial year, thanks to your incredible generosity, Severn has received over £278,000 in donations towards the running costs of Severn, as well as a further £10,000 towards the building fund and £2,000 towards the Christmas appeal. Thank you so much for your amazing, incredible generosity. Severn simply would not exist without it.
There is so much life and joy that exists within Severn and exists because of Severn. Severn is making a difference to so many lives, to this city of Bristol and beyond. And it wouldn't happen without you. Without your time, your energy, your money. Thank you for all you generously give and every way, both big and small, that you contribute to the adventure and family of Severn. It's a privilege, such a privilege and a joy to lead such a wonderful community of people. Thank you.
Thank you.